Good morning. It's Tuesday, a little after 10:30. I've got a short break between calls here. My next one's starting at 11. But tire appointment is at 1 o'clock. So I'm just getting things kind of prepped and ready to haul out of here. I'm not doing a full breakdown. Some of the stuff is just gonna stay here. One advantage of being right across the driveway from the camp post is I'm not really worried about things going missing. But yeah, we're gonna get the stabilizing jacks up. Most of the stuff put away. I got a lot of stuff inside kind of put away already. And I'm going to get hitched up as well, because I have a feeling this 11 o'clock call is going to go right up till 12:30. And I've got about a 20-minute drive into town. So I'm going to get a compressor going on that tire. Actually, let's check it here, see where we're at. Yeah, it's down to about, looks like 16 psi. So yeah, we'll get an air compressor going on that, get her pumped up to 45. Like I said, it's only a 20-minute drive in town, so I'm not too worried about it. Yeah, I think this next work call is gonna run long. It was scheduled by a vendor support and not our own internal project managers. I have a pretty good working relationship with my internal project managers, and they always kind of clear things schedule-wise with me. So we don't run into these kind of conflicts. And I know some of you are thinking like, oh, poor thing, has to leave work at 1 o'clock to go run a personal errand. Like, I don't really. My job is definitely not 8 to 5. Since I'm a project engineer, for the most part, my stuff gets scheduled around whenever works around my schedule to some degree with the client's schedule. But I do work a lot of evenings. I work a lot of weekends and after-hour stuff. Some of my clients are global, so that means some really weird hours for global stuff too. So yeah, it's I'm not as abusive of my position as it sounds like, but anyway, I don't know where I was going with that. I'm just rambling now, but I'm going to finish. I'm going to start up that air compressor and get these jacks raised, and go ahead and hook on, and then finish up these calls, and I'll update you later.
All right, it's 12:45. Screw Walmart. These guys piss me off. I get here for my appointment, and the guy's like, oh, I don't think we carry trailer tires. I'm like, yes, you do. They're on the rack over here. I looked at them Sunday when I made this appointment. And then he goes, hold on, let me go check something. And he walks back. He's like, well, the garage door that's tall enough for your trailer broke the other day, so we can't even get it in. The only way we could fix your tire is if you take it off first and bring it in. I'm like, if I could take the tire off myself, I tried. If I could, I would have done that and not hauled the whole damn trailer up here. So these guys, this is bull. So there's apparently one other tire shop in town. I'm gonna see if I can go over there and hope they can squeeze me in, but god damn it, this pisses me off. Doing UP Tire in Sault Ste. These guys are extremely helpful. We found the nail in the tire. Does not look like it's gonna be a good idea to try to fix it. But he only has 3 of the tires I need in stock. So we're going to, I made an appointment now for Thursday, come back out here, and there's no way I can make that right turn. I think I'm going off of a curb here. Anyway, so he only has 3 in stock, so I made an appointment for Thursday to have all 4 of these replaced. So very friendly, very helpful. Things are looking up. Unfortunately, that means I packed up camp and drove into town for nothing today, but screw those guys at Walmart, man. That just pisses me off. I left left him a scathing review. Not that anybody cares about reviews on Walmart, but I mean, everybody says avoid Walmart Auto, avoid Walmart Auto. Like, I should have known better. I didn't even know this shop existed. When I was searching for tire shops in the area, this one did not come up. There's one other that was not in Sault Ste. Marie. It was further south. I tried calling and couldn't get through, so I never did try back again later, but these guys were good. I'm happy. So yeah, I'm gonna head back out and get my campsite reestablished, and I've got a couple more appointments this afternoon, and then we're gonna go do some more sightseeing. I'm right near this Sault Locks, but we're still under a heat advisory yet today. It's still a little warm, and I've got another appointment, so I think we're gonna save Sault Locks for, maybe I'll do that Thursday while they're working on my tires. I'll just drop the trailer off and walk over or walk down there and do all that. I think today might be a good day for, I have no idea where I am. I should probably get the GPS going. This afternoon, after I'm done with my calls, I think I'm gonna go up to that lake I found yesterday and do a little kayaking. It's warm. It just feels like a good day for kayaking. So anyway, I will pick you back up when I get back to camp, and we will go from there. All right, just got back to camp. Came through the dump station and drained the bleach water out of my fresh tank, and then refilled it with fresh water again. So I'm going to, once I get camp set up, I'll flush my lines out. And then Thursday, when I go to that tire appointment, I'm going to drain the fresh tank again to more or less rinse it out, and then refill it with fresh. And hopefully by Thursday night, I will have fresh running water in there that does not smell like ass. One can only hope. All right, back at camp, all set up for the most part. I left the cooler in the truck. No point in bringing that in here. Had a slight issue. I've had this issue before with the Starlink dish not wanting to come up. That cable end going into the dish isn't the most solid. It's a little bit wiggly, and you gotta sit and fiddle with it for it to make a connection. Had an issue a couple years ago where that cable just failed altogether and I had to replace the cable. So hopefully that's not going to be a problem here coming up, because it takes about a week to get a new cable shipped, and you have to have an address sent it to. So that could be fun. Yeah. Camp is stood up. My afternoon work session just got canceled, so I am free for the rest of the afternoon. So I'm thinking it's getting pretty close to kayak time. It's definitely warm out, but out on that lake should be pretty nice. So yeah, I'm just going to sit here. I'm going to drink a pop. Probably should eat some lunch now that it's 2:30, and yeah, go from there. All right. It's 3:30. I got pulled into a conversation at work, so at least now I don't feel as bad about blowing off the whole day. But I am heading up to, I can't remember the name of that lake, but I got the kayak strapped down the back of the truck, and it's 82 degrees, pretty humid, and it should be a beautiful afternoon to kayak around that lake. So assuming I can find it again, it's gonna be a fun afternoon. See, I just drove over that bridge with the river that's fed out of Lake Michigan, and yeah, that water's moving. There's whitecaps out on, not Lake Michigan, Lake Superior. There's whitecaps out on Lake Superior. So yeah, not a good day for kayaking out there anyway, but I think this little lake, based on what I saw yesterday, it's going to be fantastic. So I will pick you back up again once I get up there and on the water. Here we are, Monocle Lake. Got my sunscreen on. Let's get the kayak unstrapped and on the water. Man, where'd this wind come from? It's nice and calm at camp. It's nice and calm in Sault Ste. Marie when I was dealing with tire drama. But yeah, I get out here and all of a sudden it's breezier and shit. The water doesn't look that bad. We'll see how it is when I get out on there. But just going back to the truck here quick, grab my life jacket. And we're off. It's a little bit choppy out here, and I'm getting pushed into shore, but nothing this kayak can't handle. The water is
about a foot deep here, so I ain't overly worried, except for drowning my phone. But let me paddle out here a little bit and we'll try it. Oh yeah, this is awesome. Okay, out here over by the boat ramp now. The wind just keeps turning me around, but water's a little deeper out here, but in some spots I can still see the bottom couple feet, other spots I can't. So I assume since there's pontoon boats out here that it must get at least 5 or 6 feet deep. I don't know. Maybe out there a little further. Yeah, it is. This kayak is still full of dirt, which is now turning into mud as the waves crash over the, I guess you can call that the bow of my boat. Yeah, these people over here seem to, yeah, this is gorgeous. Too bad the winds aren't a little bit calmer. Wrapped around skin on a less windy day. Like, it's weird. Like, even driving up here in the truck, I did not notice wind at all. Like, and we're kind of in this little, you know, surrounded by this forest and all these trees. I don't know where this wind's coming from, but yeah, it keeps trying to turn me around. Being parallel to waves in a small boat is never a good idea. Yep. I go paddle over that way a little bit, and I don't know how long I'm going to last out here. 'Cause this is, I mean, it's a workout when the waves and the water are pushing you back the other direction. So I'll go up here a little ways. At least it'll be a smooth or a very easy ride back to the beach. All right, more later. Okay, made it to the opposite shoreline. Over there is the boat ramp. Over there's the beach where I started. And this is the rest of the lake. Yeah, so crossing the lake was fun. Had to come across at a 45-degree angle just to keep the waves in check so I don't go swimming. Had a couple of good ones kind of splash over the front of the boat, so I'm pretty well soaked, which is part of the fun of kayaking on a hot day. I wish I have a waterproof case for my phone, but I didn't bring it with me this trip. The problem with it is it's also airtight, so my phone overheats if it's in it, so I have to power up, power down the phone every time I want to get it out of that case, so it's more of a hassle than it's worth. I do have a GoPro. I haven't even unboxed it yet, so in the camper I've been meaning to do that. But I don't have much for mounts for it, so I don't know if a GoPro would even work any better out here than just my phone camera. But yeah, this lake is going to be awesome to kayak on if we get nice, we're going through some reeds here. Oh, that's fun. I bet this lake is awesome for kayaking on a nice calm day with flat surface. Like the water right here, I mean, you can see down there, like I'm a foot deep. Crossing the middle, the water got pretty black. And I noticed that pontoon that took off. I mean, he had his outboard fully trimmed down, so I don't know how deep it gets out there, but I couldn't see the bottom anymore. So it's, I don't know, I'll have to Google this lake later and see what the depth is, but at least over here along the shorelines, it's nice and shallow. And the water's only moderately more calm over here than it is out in the center, but we're going to take a lap back towards the beach over there. Actually, scratch that. I'm going to keep heading upwind, and we're just going to hug this shoreline the rest of the way up. The reason I crossed over here is those trees over there by the boat ramp actually kind of jut out, and I really didn't want to get kind of stuck back in over there. So I think we're just going to ride up along this coastline, shoreline, whatever you want to call it, for a little bit, because I'm really not in any rush to go home. It feels good out here. And yeah, it's really hard to film out here because every time, especially crossing the center, like you know, every other stroke was a hard stroke to the left to keep myself hitting the waves at least somewhat head on, 45-ish, because the waves naturally want to turn me parallel, which is the direction I am now. It's just calmer back here behind these reeds, so I can get away with it. But out there in the center, if I got turned this way, I'd be going for a swim. So yeah, every other stroke was having to try to keep myself oriented in the right direction, and so it's really hard to film my thing. So I'm gonna hug the shoreline, just go up a ways, and I might film a little bit more. This is gonna be a very short video, which is probably a good thing. My last couple were well over an hour, and that's really too long. Half hour to 45 minutes is about the sweet spot. But I think this is the only thing I'm doing tonight, or grilling some food. So I'll try to capture enough footage here to make a video. All right, more later. Well, this dude's got a jet ski out here. This lake would be awesome for jet skiing. Now I'm turned around again, but yeah. That's cool. Look at my hair, holy crap. Just a little windy. Here comes my pontoon boat again. Somewhere there. Lake's almost a little small for that size rig. All you can kind of do is go back and forth, I guess. But if you want to come out here like anchor and just like swim and binge drink, that'd be cool. Man, look at this hill though. Just trees and water. Gorgeous. The wind has calmed down significantly. No more whitecaps on the water. I mean, it's not quite smooth as glass yet, but clear over there, where those reeds I'm stuck in, way down there is the beach. Compared to, I'm getting closer to the beach over here, so I'm maybe 2/3 of the way across now. Or, well, not really across. I think this lake is more of like kidney shape, so I'm like 2/3 of the way up. But I'm gonna go check out that beach over there, and then pull up on shore a little bit, take a breather, and actually Google this lake and see what I can learn about it. But I am having a blast out here. This is just awesome. These guys with the ski-doo are kind of entertaining to watch. He just dumped his passenger here not that long ago. It's just a gorgeous day out here. I am just loving this. I have not been in this kayak in a couple of years, and I really, really miss it. This kayak's a cheap kind of piece of crap that I got from I think Dick's Sporting Good maybe. So it's not the nicest kayak, but I don't use it enough to justify spending $400 or $500 on a good one. The main problem I have with this one is the backrest is extremely uncomfortable, so my lower back is already starting to ache, and I'm going to pay hell for it for tonight. But I'm going to pay hell for that later tonight. But I don't care. This is just so damn much fun. Check that out. Could be a thumbnail. Maybe a Facebook profile photo. Yes. I mean, the water here is a little bit deeper. I'm blowing closer to shore now, but yeah, it's just gorgeous out here. I'm having so much fun. All right, more later. All right, almost to the other beach. I'm assuming this is all private property, but I'm gonna ask these people if I can stretch my legs for a minute. Still a little bit of a breeze, kind of pushing me around a little bit, but the water's getting a lot calmer. These are some nice houses up here. The guy there on the beach I was talking to a little bit. So it's that portion of the beach, it's all public land. I assume these houses over here are more private, but I know in Texas, like, at least down the Gulf, Texas law said like any portion of sand along the Gulf was public land, even if the adjoining land was all private. So like if you're on the water, you could go up on any beach because there's no such thing as a private beach.
I don't know if Michigan does something similar or not. But anyway. Wind is way calmed down. This water's almost smooth as glass, so I'm not going to have the benefit of the wind going back. But I'm feeling good. I'm having a great time here. So I'm actually going to keep going along the shoreline and just kind of paddle the whole perimeter here. Okay, so over in this corner where I'm at now, I managed to get enough cell service. So this lake is 172 acres, maximum depth of 55 feet, and a shoreline perimeter of about 2.5 miles. And I cut off a chunk of that. So by the time it's all said and done, I'll have paddled probably just slightly under 2 miles. Yeah, this is absolutely stunningly gorgeous out here. I've said it about 17 times, but I haven't the time of my life. This is just a great day. More houses over here in the, I have no idea what direction is what. We're calling this the northeast corner of the lake, assuming I put in at the south end. But the current, if you can call it that, keeps trying to push me back towards the center. Having a hard time staying up on the shoreline, so I don't think I'm going to fight it. If it wants to push me out into the center of the lake and back towards the State Forest Beach down there, I think we're just going to let it. That pontoon's the only boat still out here. Everybody else, including the jet ski, seem to have gone home for the night. And yeah, we're just going to cut right across the middle and back. But yeah, that corner would be northeast because the sun is in the west. Sometimes I'm just dumb. Like the wind is now in my face. The wind's coming out of the west. But I'm really not moving. Oh, I seem to be moving west, like into the wind. I never took oceanography. I know nothing of wind and currents. Water's fairly calm though, compared to what it was when I first got out here. All right, time to start paddling. Got a long way to go. Now we're out in the middle of the lake. And the current's turning me around. Get down to this end of the lake and there's a lot more wind and a lot more chop. But that was a very quick ride back across the center of the lake there. So that water's definitely moving this way. But yeah, that was fun. I might have to do this again tomorrow if my back will take it. My lower back is about done for. Yeah, that was a whole lot of fun. Need to get one of those little wheel things though for the kayak. My like I said, my lower back is done for, so carrying this thing out to the truck is not in the cards. It's going to be fun enough just lifting the thing into the truck. I mean, this kayak is super lightweight. It's the cheap Pelican brand. I'll have to see if I can upgrade the backrest on it without having to buy a whole new boat. Because like I said, even on years when I do use it, I use it a few times a year. And this is the first time I've used it in years now. So, like, there's no point spending $600-700 on a nice kayak when this one gets the job done. I was smart when I bought it though, and I upgraded to a much better paddle. That's got a little bit of padding in it so I don't get blisters. So that was a worthwhile upgrade. But anyway, back to the truck, load up, and head back to camp. We're loaded, strapped down. I've got a wet ass in need of a shower. Time to go back to camp. All right, quarter 6, I just got back to camp. I stopped at the dump station and rinsed out that kayak.
I don't know if you're supposed to or not. There's a sign there like no car washing, but it doesn't say no kayak washing. And all the signs around like Lake Superior talk about not bringing in invasive aquatic species and to rinse your boat. So I don't know. I did it anyway. Nobody yelled at me. I'm covered in lake water, and then now the rinse water from the dump station. So I think I'm going to hit a shower first and then come back and make some dinner. I haven't decided what I want yet. So maybe while I'm showering, I'll think about what I want for dinner. And I think tonight might be a good night for a fire. I haven't had a fire for a few nights. So, yep. Catch you later. Quarter after 6. I'm freshly showered. Got my laptop out here. Start compiling a video. And have a little Mountain Dew here while I decide what I want for dinner. Wide variety of options tonight. We could do burgers, brats, pork chops, steak. I've got some deli ham in there. I could do like hot ham and cheese. I've got tuna. Usually I do tuna sandwiches for lunch. I have everything I would need to make breakfast burritos. Could do those for dinner. I could make pancakes. I don't know. I kind of have analysis paralysis here. So many options. Yeah, it is absolutely gorgeous out here. Light breeze blowing through here. It's probably down to like 78 now. Yeah, it's great out here tonight. I moved my chair to the other side of the table so I can sit and watch all the traffic come in and out tonight, at least till the sun goes down. And then we'll do a little fire after dark. Yeah, it's another just great day in the Upper Peninsula. I mean, this is, and it did, like, we were under a heat advisory all day, actually until 8 o'clock tonight, but it did not feel that hot. At least not as bad as yesterday. I bought a little indoor-outdoor thermometer for the camper when I was at Walmart the other day, but the stupid thing didn't even come with batteries, so I can't even turn it on. But I don't think it maybe hit 80 today, but it did not feel like it. Like when I said I wanted to come north for cooler temperatures this summer, like this is what I had in mind. Like it was absolutely gorgeous out on that lake. Like I was not completely drenched in sweat because with the sun beating down on me. Like it was just gorgeous out there. I loved every minute of it. And yeah, nice hot shower. The muscles in my back have relaxed a little bit. And yeah, I'm gonna sit here and edit some video and contemplate dinner, and it's just going to be it's going to be a great night here too, to cap off a great day. So we'll pick up with you again later on. All right, dinner tonight is just going to be a hot ham and cheese sandwich on the camp stove. I don't feel like monkeying with 20-pound propane tanks tonight, so we're just using the little one, and then I'll have banana and some Doritos with it probably. Really not overly starved, so just kind of a light dinner. Didn't feel like grilling. So yeah, nice easy dinner. I got my truck moved and I got firewood in the fire pit ready to go. So as soon as the sun goes down in probably 2 hours, what time is it? 7:30? Yeah, about 2 hours till sundown. We'll have a little fire night too. No baseball night. It's the All-Star break, so maybe just listen to some music and enjoy the tranquility of the Upper Peninsula. Me and 300 of my closest neighbors. All right, pick you back up later. I think I put my chair on the wrong side. Got the wind blowing from that direction. There we go. Yeah. It's like 8:30ish now. It's not gonna be dark for a while yet, but it is cooled off. It is down to low 70s maybe. And how's that for a thumbnail photo? Yeah, got done with dinner. Everything cleaned up. Went inside and got everything cleaned up. Went inside, put on some jogging pants because it's cooling off. Yeah, just gonna enjoy a nice fire for a little while. See, I got my little Bluetooth speaker out, got a bottle of water. I really don't even feel like drinking a beer tonight. Fire's starting to take off. I don't know what that box is. It was in the fire pit when I got here, so I'm using it as a base. It's gonna be a nice night. I've got today's video completely compiled up through dinner. I just have to add these last couple of clips that I'm going to film tonight. And then there's no time lapse in this one, so the rendering should take, I keep saying rendering, it's really encoding. So the encoding really should take like 20 minutes, half an hour. And then let it upload overnight. Another thumbnail. Alright, check in later. All right, now that's a smoky fire. Whatever that log I just threw on there, not happy about. Now that's a fire. New thumbnail picture. Cha-ching. That's not the right noise. Not the prettiest of fires, but it's effective. Once I get a good bed of coals going, I can build a pretty fire. If nothing else, I'd build a damn good fire. It is dead quiet around here. You can kind of hear some kids off in the way distance over at the Days area playground. But like for the rest of the campground over here, and the occasional diesel truck rolling in, I mean, aside from that, like, you don't hear anybody else out. I mean, it's a Tuesday night, but it's nice out here. Guess he changed his mind. He really wanted to be in my video. It's 9:20 p.m. It's still daylight. There's a little bit of a pink hue out in the distance, but you can't really see the sunset in here. I've got some Garth Brooks playing on my little speaker over here at a pretty low volume, so don't bother the rest of my neighbors trying to enjoy their fires. But Shameless is the song that just came on. And I can never listen to the song without remembering when I was in junior high. I want to say 8th grade. It was at Hendrix in Chandler. And so, long story that I'm not going to make that short. I was supposed to take Spanish 1 that year, and somehow they screwed up my schedule and put 2 of my other, like, 1 semester each electives in the first semester. And so I didn't notice. And so then, after winter break, come back for second semester, and I'm in 2 Spanish classes a day. But that's not really the way that works. I was supposed to be in 1 each semester, and my other 2 electives I took both in the fall. I was supposed to take 1 in the fall, 1 in the spring. So anyway, they made me pick 2 electives on like the first day of classes, so everything was full up. So I wound up there wasn't that many choices available. So I wound up taking like intro to keyboarding, which I've been a computer nerd my whole life, and even at 13 years old or 12, however old I was, I could type at 70, 80 words a minute. So that class was a joke. I basically just sat there and ran through keyboarding exercises, for the hour. But the cool thing back then, and this story is a complete tangent to this music I'm talking about, but we'll get there. Patience. But we could listen to music, so I always brought in the same Def Leppard CD. Euphoria had just coming out. Euphoria had just came out like that year or the year prior. So I was like, Def Leppard was always one of my favorite bands, and was my favorite back in those days. So I took that Euphoria CD to class every day, and I sat and listened to that entire album beginning to end because it was roughly the length of the class. Well, I sat and did mundane keyboarding exercises, which were completely stupid and a waste of time. But it fulfilled an elective and whatever. So the second elective they had me do then was an office aide, and this is where the music comes into play. So I was an office aide for one of the secretaries, and so our primary job was me and one other kid named Shane. And our primary job was to go around the entire school and collect the attendance sheets, bring them back, run them through the scanner, and then put the attendance sheets back in each teacher's mailbox, so they'd have them for the next day. And so me, because I was a nerd, I still am, but I was even more of one back then. But yeah, I'd go around, and as I collected all my attendance sheets, I would collect them in alphabetical order. So we had a route I took around the school that was the most efficient. But as I grabbed each classroom's attendance sheet, I just stacked them in my hand in alphabetical order. So then, when I got back to the office and ran through the scanning machine, then when I went to put them, because all the teachers' mailboxes were arranged A to Z. So by collecting them by teacher's name, A to Z, then after they're scanned, I could just boom, 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 go right down the line, pop them into mailboxes. And like the first day I did that, the secretary was like, no, you can't just put them in random mailboxes. Like, you have to match up the teachers' names. And I'm like, I did. I collect them in alphabetical order, so they go right into the mailboxes in alphabetical order. And I would be done with my attendance sheets. It was like a 50-minute period or whatever. So by the time I walked around the school, collected them all, and got them all scanned, like, I was done in 20 minutes. So I had half an hour just to kill, so I could sit and do my other homework. And Shane, my other office aide with me, he was kind of a moron. Maybe moron's not the right word. Stoner was definitely the right word. But he would lollygag around the campus, and he'd get, like, I would already have all mine collected, scanned, and put in mailboxes before he even got back to the office. And then he'd run them through the scanner, and then he'd be sitting there playing hunt and peck for like the remainder of the period, trying to put these stupid things back in the into the mailboxes. And he'd be barely getting done as the bell was ringing. At time to go to the next class. But so where the Garth Brooks song "Shameless" comes into play is like whenever one of us wasn't in school that day for whatever reason, the other had to, instead of collecting half the campus's attendance sheets, we had to collect the whole damn thing. And I didn't miss school a whole hell of a lot, but Shane, being a stoner, tended to miss school a lot. So because this song was really popular and it was always stuck in my head because I listened to a lot of country back then, yeah, I'd be wandering around the campus just singing in my head, I'm Shaneless. Yeah. Haha, pun. Very funny. But yeah, that's the story of how I always remember that stupid mix-up with my Spanish class in junior high school every time I hear this song. So that is 6 minutes and 9 seconds of your life that you will never get back having listened to that story. Sorry. Alright, I'm going to go back to my music and my fire. Catch you later. It's cooling off. I just checked the weather. Down to 71. Tomorrow's going to be beautiful. I think a low of 59 tonight. I finally turned off the air conditioning in the camper and got all the windows opened up. So I'm going to freeze tonight, which means I'm going to sleep great. But yeah, tomorrow's going to be really nice. But it's getting cool enough out here that I may have to go put some shoes and socks on. But that is a pretty fire. Get my ugly feet out of the way now. It's a better fire from a distance. On the zoom in, not so much. I've got some of the scrap wood that I'm burning tonight, which is why I don't have a pretty fire, but it's plenty warm. But once I get some actual nice proper logs in there, build a nice pretty fire. Yeah, it's getting darker. Get my finger out of the frame again. I'm really bad about that. Getting dark. Dusk, you might call it. to re-record this because I forgot to turn off the music, get a copyright strike. Anyway, this is going to be the last meaningful clip. It's now almost 10 o'clock. The thermocell went dead and killed a mosquito that was trying to have its dinner on my right hand, so I got the citronella candle going now. Yeah, this is going to be the end of this video for Tuesday, July 14th. I have no idea. I'm going to just put the camera back over on that tripod over there. And I don't know if I'll time lapse it or just let it run in real time, but yeah, if you're bored out of your mind with this video already, you can close out of it now. Otherwise, I'm just going to show the fire burning for a little while. And then when I go to bed, I'll compile this and upload it to YouTube for tomorrow. So have a good night, and I will see you in the morning.